Most of us have this problem with budget fragrances where they don't last long, especially summer scents which are fresh aquatic, because that's the kind of nature they have, because citrus and aquatic fragrances generally don't have that tendency to last long or a project could. But today I'll be talking about another fantastic clone house which makes inspired versions of fresh scents, and they actually surprisingly last longer than the usual budget fragrances that you get in the market, which are fresh citrus aquatic blends. And that is from the house of HB Scents. Okay, so today we'll be talking about this particular brand which makes inspired versions, and surprisingly they last better than the usual budget fragrances that you get in the market. So stay tuned to watch in detail. What's up guys, this is Yasser. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Frag, and today I'm going to talk about 6 different inspired versions from the brand HB Scents, and all of them are very affordable. They have 20 ml options, they have 60 ml options which look like this. They have this is the 60 ml and this is the 20 ml. They also have 100 ml. The 20 ml only costs about 280 and this 60 ml costs around 600. The last option is 120 ml which costs only around 1100 to 1200. Okay, that is a great deal, and like I said, their blends last really long compared to the usual budget fragrance that you see in the market. So let's get started with number 1. Now before that, let me quickly show you the presentation. The presentation is nothing special. It is a simple presentation because the costing is very low. It is very affordable, so do not expect any extreme presentation. Okay, so it's a very simple golden box. This is how their presentation looks. It's a simple golden box. Their color might be slightly different on the stickering where it is the name label, and their bottle looks like this. Now the quality of the bottle doesn't mean that it is bad. Okay, the quality of the bottle is actually good for what price. It has this Clive Christian sort of a plastic cap which kind of looks like metal, but it's actually plastic. There's a slight metal sort of finish on the outside, but it's actually plastic. You can have a look at it from closer. Okay, and the bottle thickness is pretty good, so there's no complaint on the quality of bottle, but it's just that the designing is nothing special. The labeling is also nothing special. You can have a look at it here. It's a very simple labeling, but for the price there is no complaint. So let's get started with number 1, and I'm calling this as number 1 is because I complimented my dad twice when he wore this one. Okay, surprisingly, because the opening when I tested on myself smelled very different, but on him the dry down smelled fantastic, guys. You have to trust me here. Probably it's his skin chemistry which I'm not sure of, because when I tried this it did not seem to be very close to the original, because this is an inspired version of Bleu de Chanel, okay, which is very popular. I'm sure you guys know about it, but this one did not really smell exactly like that, but again doesn't mean that it smells totally different. Now the opening was a little soapy. After 30 minutes is when it starts to give the feel of Armaf Shades Blue or Tag Him if you have tried that one. Now that is a clone of Bleu de Chanel again. So this one in the opening for the first 30 minutes is a little soapy. It does not really smell like Bleu de Chanel, but after 30 minutes it does give a feel of Armaf Shades Blue, which is known to be a clone of Bleu de Chanel, which I just showed you. Okay, now the speciality of this one, the point that I made where I complimented my dad, was after 1 hour of when he wore this one. Okay, after 1 to 2 hours, I don't know what's so special about this. After 1 to 2 hours it smells really class, very nice musky woody feel. Again, that did not smell like Bleu de Chanel to me, but it smelled really classy on him, and I was surprised and asked him, which one did you wear? And he said it's one of the perfumes that you had in your shelf, and he came back home and told me that it was this one, and I was really surprised that it was this one, because on him after 2 hours it did not smell anything like Bleu de Chanel, but it smells fantastic, guys. It had that nice musky, nice cedarwood sort of feel along with that Ambrox and aquatic vibe. Okay, beautiful scent. I'm placing this at number 1 because it was projecting on him even after 3 hours. Of course, he is an oversprayer. You can see the level. I think he has used about 3 times and this is the level. He does overspray, and it is summertime, so can't really complain. In typical Indian weather, you have to overspray sometimes. What I'm telling you is, now if this is just 600 for a 60 ml, you don't really have to care about overspraying, especially in very hot weather and when you can smell fantastic. Okay, so that's at number 1. Let's move to the second one, which is Lacoste White. Okay, now not many people make clones of Lacoste White, and there are very few people who are very fond of Lacoste White. Okay, now Lacoste White is a nice citrus, a bit of lavender, a nice white floral sort of a fragrance. Now if you like citrus, white floral and lavender, you definitely have to check. This is a nice crisp white sort of fragrance. You can wear this kind of fragrance on a white t-shirt or white shirt that you wear, and you feel very fresh and clean on a summer daytime. So this is also a great clone. Projects about 2 hours, lasts about 7 hours. In case I have missed to mention this projected about 3 hours. I'm giving you the example of my dad. 3 hours of projection and 8 to 9 hours of lasting. Now coming to the third one is Dior Sauvage. Again, this is a very common clone. I'm sure you would have heard of a lot of clones of Dior Sauvage. In case you do not know how the original is, this is what I'm talking about. This is Dior Sauvage. It's a very popular fragrance, guys. You'll get 100 clones in the market. Now again, this is a super budget. You get 60 ml for 600. And let me tell you, when I compare this with the original, it does go close, but about 75 to 80%, because this is a little sweeter than the original. The original has that nice ambroxan, which is a bit salty, and it smells a little spicy because of that pepper. Now I don't get that spiciness much here. The pepper also is a little sweet, and because of that slight sweetness, this actually projects really nice. Okay, doesn't mean that this does not perform. This actually performs really nice, but it's just that it's a sweeter version of the original Dior Sauvage. The base also has that woody accord. Performance is also great. 2 hours of projection, 9 to 10 hours of lasting. This I could actually sense the projection for about 4 hours, because even in the 4th hour I could sense that projection here and there. Okay, and that's because of that sweet ambroxan along with that sweet pepper note which I mentioned. So that's at number 3. At number 4 is Black Orchid. I'm sure you guys know which one Black Orchid is. In case you do not, this is what Black Orchid is. This comes from Tom Ford and it is very popular, marketed towards women, but still men are the ones who use that the most, because they actually like that dark cocoa patchouli sort of a blend. This exactly smells like that in the first 1 hour. 90% similar in the first 1 hour. Okay, after 1 hour it kind of loses that richness and it goes about 80%. So I'm being very honest here. First 1 hour, 90% close. Fantastic. Okay, performance is also good. Projects about 2 hours, 8 to 9 hours of lasting. At number 5 is Invictus. Okay, I'm sure you guys would know Invictus as well. It comes in that, trophy kind of a bottle. A very old release and very popular, and nowadays it is very common as well. Now this is a nice sweet floral version of Paco Rabanne Invictus. I wouldn't say this is the best clone of Invictus, but I actually like the overall blend. If you like Jasmine Neroli sort of an accord along with that Invictus vibe, this is a must try. This is something which I really enjoyed as a scent of its own, because that jasmine floral note along with that Invictus vibe was actually fantastic, guys. I really enjoyed smelling this one, but do not buy because it's the perfect clone of Invictus. But as a blend of its own, this is fantastic again, because that base had that nice musky, musk rijali sort of musky along with that nice soft cedarwood. Beautiful base note, and that base note actually went on and I could sense it for about 10 hours. But otherwise the Invictus vibe slightly is about 6 hours of lasting with 2 to 3 hours of projection. Okay, that was Invictus. At number 6 is Aventus. Okay, this also is a very common clone that you can get in the market, but the opening was very strong. I would still say that Club de Nuit Intense is still the best clone, so don't misunderstand here. This is still the best clone, but this sells for about 4,000. This you get 60 ml, 600. This is 150 ml for 4,000. These days the prices have gone up. If you have the budget, I would simply say this is the best clone of Creed Aventus, but if you do not have that budget, you simply can try this one. This is still not bad. Like I said, their blends are actually very strong compared to the usual fresh scents that you get in the market. This also has a very strong opening. It's about 65 to 70% close to Creed Aventus, but it really starts off with a very nice strong citrus opening. Okay, projects 2 to 3 hours, and after 6 hours it's mainly to do with the musk and woody note, and the overall blend lasted about 9 to 10 hours. So those were the 6 from HB Scents. Like I said, most of their fresh blends, they last and project better than the usual budget fragrance in the fresh category that you get in the market. So that's something special I found about HB Scents. So in case you're looking for a good lasting, good projecting, budget fresh summer scents, you definitely have to check these out. Like I mentioned, Bleu de Chanel, Sauvage, Lacoste White are something that I really like from these 6. Black Orchid is a winter fragrance generally, but otherwise all the others that I mentioned are summer fragrances. So let me know in case you have tried any of these. Comment down in the comment section. See you next time soon. Keep sharing the videos. Cheers.